trying to see if I can adjust this thing, bro. Is it working now? It might work. Hold on. What's good, YouTube? You already know who it is. It's your boy, the Icy Retros, back at it again with another one for y'all, man. Today we're gonna talk about my Panthers, dog. We're 4-8. We just came off a dub against the Denver Broncos, although it wasn't a very good Denver Broncos team. We're talking about a team who has the worst, or at least one of the worst offenses in the National Football League. But a win is a win, man. You can only play who's on your schedule. We have 5 games remaining to determine, do we go to the playoffs? Are we sitting at home? I don't know, man. I have this belief that, maybe we can pull it off. It seems like this division is wide open in terms of, who wants it, and a lot of media coverage has gone towards, the Bucks not being this good this year, and maybe the Falcons, being good but like not good enough to win the division, and the Saints are down in the dumps too. So this division is wide open. It's up for grabs. And I say, why not us, man? Why not us? Why can't we be the ones to become NFC South champions, And I'm not alone. There's a lot of people saying, hey, the Panthers might be a sleeper team. And it's just crazy to me how far we've come in just a little amount of time. Like over probably about a month and a half ago, we were talking about the Carolina Panthers having the first pick in the draft. And people were writing us off. We were tanking. We just fired Matt Rule. We just traded away Christian McCaffrey. Like, what are the Panthers doing, man? We were asking that question like mid-October, man. We were like, what are the Panthers doing? They don't have a future. They don't have a direction or nothing. The job that Steve Wilkes has done in this short stint, like I think maybe 7 games as Panthers head coach, it's impressive. The job's not finished, though. And honestly, if he wants to be considered as full-time head coach, then, he's going to have to step his game up. He's going to have to win these crucial games to get the job going forward. And honestly, he needs to win on the road. That's one knock that I've had on Coach Wilkes is that, when we've had road games, it hasn't been pretty. But at home, we're undefeated. So as a coach, it's all about winning on the road just as much as it is protecting your home turf. So I need Coach Wilkes to get that signature road win if he's going to prove that he is the head coach moving forward. Now I'm going to take a little side note. I'm not going to address everything that Matt Rule said in his recent interview since taking the Nebraska job, but I do need people to understand that he definitely did have a decision making in the selection of players. So for him to say that is a little wild. I don't understand why he put that information out there, and I also don't know why he always needs a scapegoat. Like, it seems like Matt Rule doesn't want to accept responsibility. I mean, my guy, you went 11-27 as head coach of the Panthers. At the end of the day, that's not all on management, and it's definitely not all on the players. That's also on coaching as well. But yeah, I just wanted to say that little comment about Matt Rule. I think it's very interesting, the timing of all this, and also I don't even know how many assistants he's taken from the Panthers. But yeah, man, I don't like that situation, and I don't like what's being said. Obviously, I wish Matt Rule the best in whatever career that he pursues or whatever. He just wasn't a good coach for us, and he wasn't a good coach in the NFL. Obviously, he's a better college coach. But yeah, throwing your old team under the bus like that, I can't respect that. Take responsibility for what you did, Matt Rule, and just move on from it. There's no reason to drag us. There's no personal reason to drag the Panthers or the organization or the players. Obviously, I just think that the players didn't buy into your system or what you were selling, and honestly, you're better suited to sell that in college than you are in the NFL. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that, and we're gonna move on from that. One thing that I do know that we are going to need to address in this upcoming draft, no matter the end result of the season, is the quarterback situation. We need a quarterback. Okay, you cannot win in this modern league without a signal caller that can carry you. All right, it's not going to work. And we've been trying to do that with bridge quarterbacks for 3 seasons now. We haven't really addressed that situation. I know we just drafted Matt Corral, and I'm not sure if he's the full answer, but we need to at least look at the quarterbacks in this upcoming draft. I'm not exactly sold on one. If I was to take a quarterback in the first round with our first round pick, probably is going to be Bryce Young, just based on his intangibles and also his decision making. The other ones are a little bit more shaky. I'm not completely sold on C.J. Stroud, but he would be my second option if Bryce Young is taken by the Texans or whoever has the first pick in the draft. Um, I've heard a lot of hype for Will Levis out of Kentucky. People have said he's like Josh Allen. I'm not sure if I'm convinced about that. I feel like that comparison is a little overhyped. He has good intangibles, but there's been a couple of games I've seen where his decision making is questionable. Most notably the Tennessee game. Shout out to my boy Brando. He's a Tennessee fan. But yeah, I'm not completely sold on Levis or any of the other quarterbacks. I haven't done that much research into that, so that's something that I will hope to get more research into the future, close into the draft. But yeah, we definitely need to address the quarterback situation. I'd say we also need to address the linebacker situation because we need a solid middle linebacker. I think Steve Wilkes has done a great job with the defense, but one of the holes in the defense that we need to address is middle linebacker. And I don't understand why Brandon Smith hasn't gotten more opportunities. I noticed that with Coach Rule as well. Maybe he isn't coming along as fast as we need him to, but I believe that if we solidify the middle linebacker position, everything else can fall into place. I mean, J.C. Horn has been locking it down at corner. I know our corners aren't the best. C.J. Henderson has improved, though. I will admit that he has improved since the beginning of the season. He's progressing. Jeremy Chin, I love Jeremy Chin, but he's not a coverage safety. He's not a zone safety. He's more like a box safety where he can play up and actually probably be like your outside linebacker. Which, if I were coaching the Panthers, that's where I would put Jeremy Chin because I feel like that's where he's best strong suited as an outside line. If you packed on a couple more pounds, I believe, honestly, we should just move him to outside linebacker and let him do that because he's really good at, stopping. Well, I wouldn't say stopping the run necessarily, but he can play up in a position where he can be a support. He can be a support linebacker. And that's what I think we need to emphasize for him going forward. So I would say maybe safety is another one that we address. Have a safety outside opposite side of Xavier Woods if we do move Jeremy Chin to a linebacker position. But I still say that middle linebacker is a need for urgency. I'd also say pass rusher should be an urgency in this upcoming draft. I mean, I know we have Brian Burns and he's been solid all year. I believe he has 9.5 sacks entering this bye week, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But we do need an outside presence outside of Brian Burns because I'll admit to you, I'm not sold on Yetur Gross-Matos. He's improved, but he's also regressed sometimes, and a lot of times I see in game film that he's just running around. I'm not saying that he doesn't have an impact on the game, but I would like his impact to be greater. If you're going to be opposite side of Brian Burns, if you're going to be, the other defensive end. Marquise Haynes has shown potential, but his frame isn't built to be an every down edge. You know what I'm saying? So I would say pass rusher is a need too. Possibly on the offense, we do need a tight end. I know we re-signed Ian Thomas, but I'm not convinced in Ian Thomas being a number one tight end. He showed flashes recently over the last couple of weeks, but Overall, tight end is needed, and I feel like that's something we haven't really addressed since we had Greg Olson. So that's another area of need going into this draft. All right, so back to the schedule though. So we have a huge matchup with the Seattle Seahawks next week. The game is in Seattle, so that's always been a challenge for the Panthers historically. Um, we're gonna have to see if Coach Wilson can come up with his first one on the road. I think he's currently 0-3 on the road. I think something like that. And on the season, we're 0-5 away from home. So we definitely need to tighten that up. Um, Also, we definitely, if we don't win against Seattle, we definitely have to win against the Steelers, the Lions, and at least one of the two between the Bucks and the Saints. Um, in a perfect world, I would love for us to win at least 4 out of the final 5 games, but that's going to be a very difficult task. And I know a lot of people are saying, hey, the Panthers have an easy remaining schedule. Nobody except for the Seahawks has a winning record. That doesn't mean anything, okay? And the NFL is anybody can win on any given day. So I want y'all to push that narrative out of your minds. The Seahawks are 6-5. I believe the Steelers are 4-7 currently. The Lions are 4-7. The Bucks are 5-6, and the Saints are 4-8. They have the same record as us. However, all right, a lot of times these playoff teams, they come sleeping at the end of the year, and then they get shocked or upset. Well, both basically upset by a team that's just they think has nothing to play for, but they're playing for pride at that point. So I need us to stay alert. The Seahawks is going to be a tough matchup for us, but we can exploit one weakness that they have, and that's stopping the run. I believe that the Raiders and Josh Jacobs had over 300 yards last week. Shout out to my boy Colin because he's a Raiders fan. So if we can exploit that and we can get the run game going, which is what Steve Wilks has emphasized a lot since becoming the head coach or interim head coach, then I believe we can win that game. It's going to be very difficult, though. We're facing a really good Seahawks offense led by Geno Smith. I believe they're 4th in points per game, so that's going to be a little bit of a struggle. We've struggled against high-scoring teams this year. I mean, if you want the proof, look at the 49ers or look at the Bengals games. But hopefully those are anomalies and those aren't consistent for the remaining schedule. I hope that we can contain the Seahawks, but I wouldn't be surprised if we take an L in Seattle. It's been very difficult for us as a franchise as a whole over the years going into Seattle, with the only exception being that 2015 magical run year. And I'll admit to you, we might have Steve Wilks from that 2015 team and Shaq Thompson, but this ain't the same team, dog. It's not the same team. And I need people to understand that realistically, if we take that L, we still have 4 games that are winnable. However, it's going to be a very difficult task. We just have to take it one game at a time, man. You can only play who's on your schedule, and at the end of the day, we have to take care of business. We can't worry about what everybody else in the division is doing or what everybody else in the NFC is doing. We have to take care of our own business, and we have to show the world that, we're here and that we're serious, because a lot of people take the Panthers as a joke. That's why we don't get national coverage, and that's also why we don't get primetime games. Let's think about it. I don't think the Panthers have had a primetime game in like a couple years, except for the Thursday night Falcons game, if you count that. But like Sunday night football, Monday night football, we don't get those games, all right? It's been a couple years since we had those type of games. So there's a reason for that. We haven't been good. We haven't been good. There's no reason why the media should pay attention to the Panthers when we've literally been a joke for like a couple years now. Matt Rule had us as a joke. Let's just be honest here. We were a revolving door at quarterback. We couldn't get, stuff settled out on the offensive side of the ball. We fired Joe Brady. We had probably, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 different coordinators. I mean, Scott Fitterer, I think he's done an okay to good job being the general manager. However, at the end of the day, some of the decision making from the front office in terms of acquiring quarterbacks has been questionable. But, I believe that this is a clean slate for him. working with Steve Wilkes probably could be a good thing for him. But also Steve Wilkes needs to put his foot down and put, you know, his impact. What is his impact on the rest of this year? I understand he didn't come in with the best of circumstances, but how is your legacy going to be left behind? How will you prove that you are the head coach for the Carolina Panthers moving forward? So it's a lot on the line. You can't get too overhyped, but we do need to take it at face value that we have a chance. And that's really all you can ask for in this league is a chance. A chance to make some noise, a chance to make the playoffs. That's really all you got to do. And you got to take it one game at a time, You can't look too far ahead. You have to take it one game at a time. Because the minute you overlook an opponent is the minute the opponent stomps the mess out you. So this is the NFL, man. Anything can happen. Hopefully we make a run. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I covered a lot in this video today, man. But I thank y'all for staying with me and supporting this channel. I have a lot more videos coming for y'all in the future. I apologize, man. I've been busy, man. Finals week is next week. I've been working a lot. I went back home for Thanksgiving last week. So I basically took a break from YouTube. But, I'm back. Hopefully posting videos more frequently, man. If y'all haven't seen my last video, the 2K video, please go check that out. But in the meantime, man, I thank y'all for all the support and love that y'all give me. And we out, man. Hopefully y'all enjoy your day. Y'all have a blessed day. And always remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends so we can blow up. I am currently 7 subscribers away from 200. So I'd really appreciate it if I could reach 200 by Christmas. If not, that's okay. But, hey, man, I appreciate all the love that y'all give, man. And thank y'all for supporting me and this channel. And this is what I really love to do. And I hope to bring y'all tons of content moving forward. So, hopefully I can have a big 2023. In the meantime, though, thank y'all for watching the video. And we out, man.